This morning the Holy Spirit came with a boom in my mind, and the message is from a great section in the course called Seek Not Outside Yourself. We spoke about it yesterday. Fear to look within. That there is only within the mind that we can find the truth. And this boom is this. Each idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in His place. Each idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in His place. When does God call? All the time. All the time. The ego made up time to not hear God. And the world seems to be a very busy place of distraction. It's not always easy to see it is an idol that we put there to worship in place of God, in place of staying in the oneness, where we are forever, where we were when time began, where we were before anything else happened. So any idol that you worship when God calls will never answer in His place. Because you seek God, the idol is not sufficient. The idol cannot replace God, whatever it is. And you may have seen things in your life that you have been idols, like food or special relationships. And you keep seeking there, but it doesn't give you what you need. And once we have made this connection within, we start to realize there is nothing else. There is nothing else that can satisfy us. Nothing. There may still be layers of delusion in the mind, like beliefs that linger. So there is confusion as you wake up, because these beliefs still pull on things in the world. And the things you pull on will never, they're not what they seem. It doesn't work. Jesus says, teach only love, for that is what you are. You know, and that's what we're learning. We can only extend love. Everything else will fail. Everything else is like slapping ourselves in the face over and over and over. And it may seem like, so the idols can be other people. It may seem like they are involved, but it's always our own thoughts, our own mind that is doing it. Jesus says, you do it to yourself. And we want the stillness of the mind. That is the desire to nurture the stillness of God, the stillness of the truth. This is why Jesus has made an excellent course. He made a Course in Miracles to reach the distracted mind. The instructions in the workbook are so clear. He's saying, do it this way. Follow it. Do you know anyone, or have yourself followed it exactly for a whole year? Exactly. With the instruction of 5 minutes every hour. Remember this every half hour. Throughout the day. Has anyone here? No. Have I? No. Have you? Nobody I know has been able to do it. But if we did, even one lesson probably is sufficient. Not probably. We really do it. If the mind is ready, it pops the ego. But the mind want to be distracted. Fill the days and nights, distracting thoughts. Busy, busy, busy. External, external, external. It's the fear to look within. The fear to get still for a moment. Even looking within can seem difficult. What is that? How is that? It's not within an individual brain or mind. Look within is to experience the stillness within, that everything is within. But it's not, it's to pull away from the focus on the external world. Eyes deceive. Okay, don't rest in what your eyes perceive. There is another place to rest. When you start to heal perception, you will see the reflections of within. But it's not about trying hard, because we all have had moments where we get it. It's like, boom. And it's not always when we sit in meditation. It can be often when we read the Course, or we listen to a message, or when we get still enough just to spirit can reach the mind. That's when we feel it. And I think it's so scary. Awakening is so scary to the ego because of the belief in loss. So it constantly fills up your time. And a special relationship, Jesus says, this is the ego's most boosted gift. Oh, boasted. Thank you. Yeah, he has another description of it that I tried to remember. He's saying this: in looking at a special relationship, it is necessary first to realize that it involves a great amount of pain. Anxiety, despair, guilt, and attack all enter into it, broken into by periods in which they seem to be gone. All these must be understood for what they are. Whatever form they take, they are always an attack on the self to make the other guilty. Have you felt that? The attempt to make the other one guilty. And the special relationship is not just a love partner relationship. It's family, it's friends, it's whoever suits the ego. It's a special relationship. And the desire to blame and make guilty. But he's explaining here, the attempt to make guilty is always directed against God. And that's not really seen, It seems to be directed against people. It's easy to see. Even wars, we can see it in the bigger picture in the world. But look in your own relationships. Who have you been angry at lately? Guilting. But the attempt to make guilty is always directed against God, for the ego would have you see Him and Him alone as guilty, leaving the sonship open to attack and unprotected from it. So this is not clearly experienced, I think. It's easy to see the guilting of other people, but this is a whole plan to shut God out. That's not in conscious awareness, but that's what it is. Ego edging God out, EGO. The ego would have you see God as guilty, leaving the sonship open to attack. And here, the special love relationship is the ego's chief weapon for keeping you from heaven. It does not appear to be a weapon, but if you consider how you value it and why, you will realize what it must be. The special love relationship is the ego's most boasted gift. And one which has the most appeal to those unwilling to relinquish guilt. So the special love relationship has the most appeal to those unwilling to relinquish guilt. Jesus is even pointing it out. Unwilling. He doesn't say not ready, he says unwilling. Who here is in a special relationship in some way? Yeah, there is still, as long as you fail, when you fall into a dependency or a attachment or needing somebody, you still have specialness. But this is not a path of avoiding relationships. This is, many people read the Course, and some people are very afraid of entering a special love relationship. Very deep fear of intimacy that is projected into a relationship. Fear of intimacy. So they avoid it, and they say, well, the Course teaches we shouldn't have special relationships. But that doesn't heal the mind. The specialness is still there. You can't follow it by the letter. The dynamics of the ego are clearest here, for counting on the attraction of this offering, the fantasies that center around it are often quite overt, quite seen. They're aware, conscious. Fantasies, preoccupations about a special relationship. Here they are usually judged to be acceptable and even natural. We agree, in this world it's very acceptable to have relationship issues and to be focused, fixated on a special relationship. No one considers it bizarre to love and hate together. Until now.
It's normal.
Right.
Mm.
Compromise. Take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
We want to question that. We're worthy of a higher experience. Much higher.
There must be another way.
There must be another way, yeah. And we want to really put these relationships on the altar. To let Spirit use them. Even that is scary to the ego. Give the relationship over to Spirit. The ego is pretty screwed up. So here it says more about it. It is in the special relationship born of the hidden wish for special love from God, that the ego's hatred triumphs.
Can you repeat it?
It is in the special relationship born of the hidden wish for special love from God that the ego's hatred triumphs. So there is a belief you can't get special love from God. So you make up a special relationship with another person to get it there. God has shut me out of heaven, so I'm going to make this other substitute. But there is where the ego's hatred triumphs. The ego, which isn't real, by the way, must hate when God is shut out. And that becomes a crazy madness. Abusive experiences, crazy. You said yesterday, Solveig, the common denominator was you. Common aspect in every abusive relationship you experienced was you. Seeking the specialness, even if it is painful, hurtful. We can go to great lengths in this shutting God out. Great lengths or extensive pain. You know, we get interesting lessons. So you shared yesterday you have been in love with a man and you were rejected. It wasn't reciprocated in the end. So then Jesus took you into a relationship with himself, you know, to release the specialness, the desire for specialness, or some of the desire, you know. For me, it's taken many periods of, you know, releasing, coming to a higher level, releasing more, coming to a higher level, releasing more, coming to even higher levels and higher experiences and more extensive peace of mind. But for me, it also was a little different because I have memories of having had very high experiences in past lives, really uniting with God for most of the time. And in this lifetime I was told, you're gonna have relationships, boom, because they had been avoided. So in this lifetime it was through relationships. You know, we can go far avoiding them, like I said earlier. Some people do, they avoid special relationships because they're afraid of them, or, you know, but it doesn't heal anything. But we can go deep, we can meditate, and, you know, what I feel like I did. But then I was called into being in relationships, being smashed, you know.
Same for me, actually. Yeah. Same.
And of course, like I read, you know, times of seeming peace in between the periods of intensity. But so here it says more. It is in the special relationship born in the hidden wish for special love from God that the ego's hatred triumphs. For the special relationship is the renunciation of the love of God. Renunciation of the love of God. Like the release of the love of God. I don't want the love of God. I renounce it. I want this body instead. This person is going to be my God, my idol.
Can I just add to that as well? Because I think just in my experience, like, we can spiritualize that. You know, we can like spiritualize the specialness and think that we're on the path. And maybe we are on, maybe we are on the path. But you know, my intention at the beginning, was, a healing relationship.
Yeah, a lot of people say,
yeah.
I want a holy
Right,
relationship.
yeah.
I really want a holy relationship with this one.
Exactly, yeah.
What is that? The
Well,
specialness.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it wasn't me initiating at the beginning. That's a sort of nice irony of it. But yeah, it sort of seemed like this package of, this will be a healing relationship. And,
Yeah,
and then the other actually avoided. So
of course, I've been in these relationships too, where one is very reluctant. But it's still guided. It's still...
Well, yeah.
It's still for your healing,
Yeah.
Being in a relationship with a reluctant person who is afraid of relationship, you get to see your own grasping, your own desire for the joining, and nobody there, nobody home, nobody, then to feel abandonment and loneliness or whatever it is that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful desire to have a relationship for healing. We laughed a bit here, but it's beautiful to want to be in a relationship for healing, We just need to know how to use it. We need to give it to Spirit to use it. Spirit's the only one that knows. If we try, we make a mess of it. We want something from the other. We want them to be that God that we thought shut us out and provide, whatever we need. Did they ever?
You're considering
Andrea? You want to share?
Not really, I suppose. Yeah, well, I find in our relationship opportunities to get over my safety issues, or unsafety issues, really. Yeah, to really let him be, and not trying to want so much from him. Yeah.
So it is a giving over. You realize you need to give him over to have him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I give you over.
it always happens.
Yeah. Before we know it becomes a trick. I give you over in order to have you.
Yeah, but that's beautiful, because when you give him over, you discover that you have God.
Yeah.
And then you extend God.
Yeah.
Giving over is not giving up. A lot of people think giving over means walk away, but no. Sometimes walk away for a bit, take some time. If you are in a committed relationship with somebody. Or if you have family members that you have a habit of contacting for certain things, or that's also a very special relationship to give over. So instead of going into that addiction, a special relationship is an addiction. We need to give God some time, and in the beginning it can be, maybe to sit for a bit with God before making that call. I always was quite radical in my life, so I gave them all up at once. Of course, it was radical. It was this prayer. God, I won't use any relationship for the ego's purposes anymore. I don't want to use them for my own seeming needs. And that was very refreshing. To make that prayer. It was after that suddenly the mighty companions appeared in my life. It was not until that prayer was made.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Because our relationship, I already spoke about this, but I just want to mention it again to expose it, actually. And that's our relationship helps me to get in touch with these very deep fears of being left alone.
Yes.
And it's so clear to me that she cannot save me from that. That's really my connection with God, with the whole. And it can be very intense in these moments when I have this feeling of being lost. And, but I know I have to go, I have to face that on my own. No one can help me in that, or no one can save me from that.
You want to do that now?
Hmm?
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, sure.
You say, yeah, sure, but but yeah, you can check in how you're feeling.
I don't feel that fear at the moment. It's
No.
only every now and then that it comes up. It's sort of
It's diluted right now. It's diluted.
diluted. Yeah.
It's
Not.
not concentrated because it's a nice situation. We're here with friends. It seems very nice.
Yeah.
This is a special relationship, by the way. Used for healing. Definitely with the purpose of holiness as its goal. Definitely. So it's great that you're here. Don't go away because I said it's special.
Let's go to
Run away.
But this is a good example. We get comfortable. We get so comfortable with the specialness. It's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe you can think of different comfortable things that you do, you know, now and then within your special relationship. We watch a movie sometimes together, you know, it's so nice, you know, or eating, making a certain special meal, you know. But these are the things the Holy Spirit can use if we're willing, you know, we're willing to let Him.